Hello everyone and welcome to Rich Beast channel. In today's video we are going to talk about best upcoming IPOs to watch in 2022. Over the past year, a number of hot companies underwent initial public offerings, but that doesn't mean investors looking for the best new upcoming IPO in 2022 have nowhere to turn. Yes, a record-setting 1,000 companies went public in 2021, raising $315 billion as of late December, and smashing the previous record of less than $200 billion. Roblox, Coinbase, Rivian Automotive, and Robinhood Markets were some of the year's most notable debuts. But there's still appetite for a number of private companies yet to take the dive, whether they opt for a traditional IPO, a direct listing or the special purpose acquisition company, or SPAC. And I already count on your help to leave your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you're still new here and leave your comment, saying your opinion and what the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Here are the most anticipated potential IPOs to watch in 2022. First on the list is Discord. Although a 2022 IPO is unconfirmed, chat app Discord is considered a contender to tap the public markets this year. The company has certainly captured mainstream attention, a favorite of gamers and cryptocurrency projects. The young skewing app reportedly doubled its users in 2020 as the pandemic forced people to connect online. It boasts 150 million monthly active users, and revenue nearly tripled in 2020, jumping to $130 million from $45 million the prior year. It ended up being serendipitous that a deal worth at least $10 billion, in which Microsoft would acquire Discord, fell apart in April 2021. By September, the company raised $500 million at a $15 billion valuation. Number 2 is Reddit. Reddit is virtually guaranteed to be one of the most anticipated upcoming IPOs to watch in 2022, as the social media platform uses the cachet it earned from 2021's meme stock frenzy to get a taste of Wall Street itself. The company's valuation has been mooning in recent years, advancing from $3 billion in 2020 to an August 2021 funding round that pegged the company's worth at $10 billion. Reddit filed confidentially to go public in December 2021, meaning that, barring unforeseen circumstances, the wildly popular message board site will go public in 2022. At the start of 2021, Reddit had 52 million daily active users, and in the second quarter, it earned $100 million in advertising revenue, nearly triple what it earned in the same period a year prior. Reddit will reportedly seek a valuation of more than $15 billion when it goes public. Number 3 is Instacart. Just because Instacart was one of the most anticipated public debuts of 2021, doesn't prevent it from repeating as one of the hottest IPOs to watch for in 2022. The grocery delivery service was originally hoping to dive into public markets last year at a rumored valuation of $50 billion, but new CEO Fidji Simo delayed the plans until this year to help broaden services beyond simple food delivery. The market hasn't been too kind to competitor DoorDash, whose shares have plunged about 15% since their first day of trading in December 2020. But eMarketer points out that Instacart has a trick up its sleeve, a fast-growing advertising platform that retailers can tap to promote their products in search results. Revenue reportedly more than tripled in 2020, to $1.5 billion, but growth is expected to slow to a low double-digit pace. Number 4 is Databricks. A little more than a decade ago, a group of computer science students at the University of California, Berkeley, created Apache Spark, an open-source system meant to manage big data. The platform achieved massive adoption, alongside growing needs to use systems, such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. A few years later, those students would go on to launch Databricks to commercialize the software for enterprises. Over the years, the company has amassed a customer base of more than 5,000, which includes large corporations such as CVS Health, Comcast, and Nationwide. Databricks' latest funding round came in August 2021, when the firm raised $1.6 billion at a $38 billion valuation in a funding round led by Morgan Stanley fund Counterpoint Global. Databricks has raised about $3.6 billion since inception. While Databricks has not filed its IPO documents yet, the company appears to be angling for an IPO sometime in 2022. Number 5 is Chime. The fintech space has grown rapidly in recent years, with companies like Block and PayPal among those at the forefront. One of fintech's allures, is that it makes financial services more accessible and seamless, and Chime takes that a step further, by disavowing predatory fees that disproportionately affect the poor and financially uneducated. Chime does away with monthly fees, overdraft fees, account minimums and more, and this philosophy, along with its mobile-first online banking, has been a hit with consumers and investors alike. In October 2020, the company earned a $15 billion private valuation, only to garner a $25 billion valuation in August 2021. The company is reportedly targeting a valuation between $35 billion and $45 billion in an IPO that could come as soon as the first quarter of 2022. Number 6. The Fresh Market. In March 2016, the Fresh Market accepted a $1.36 billion cash buyout from private equity firm Apollo Global. At the time, the grocer was having trouble competing against companies such as Whole Foods, Kroger, and Publix. As a private company, the Fresh Market has been focused on restructuring its operations, which currently span 159 locations across 22 states. That paid off after a couple of years with an improvement on its credit outlook, though if the firm does go public, it will do so with a still high level of debt. And a year ago, the company hired a new CEO, Jason Potter, the former chief of Canada-based Sobeys, who boasts 3 decades of experience in the grocery industry, and who is known as a cost-cutter. The IPO looks to be little more than a way for Apollo to exit its investment with a decent return. The company filed confidentially in March for an eventual IPO, which was expected to happen in 2021 but has been pushed into 2022. Number 7. Impossible Foods. Beyond Meat competitor Impossible Foods, the plant-based meat company behind the famed Impossible Burger, is extremely likely to go public, and if that happens this year, expect it to be one of the hottest upcoming IPOs of 2022. One doesn't have to be trained in reading tea leaves to foresee the debut. The company was reportedly in talks to go public as early as April 2021, it hired a new chief financial officer in August, and the CEO flat-out called an IPO inevitable in November. With its fake meat products in more than 20,000 stores and growing globally, and a larger societal attitude slowly turning away from meat in favor of alternatives, expect plenty of investor interest in Impossible Foods stock, whenever it eventually begins trading. The company has recently sought private money at a valuation of $7 billion. Last and certainly not least, on the list of most anticipated upcoming IPOs, to watch for 2022 is Stripe, the Irish-American fintech company that's the apple of private investors' eye. Despite recent reports that Stripe was discussing a 2022 IPO with financiers, this public debut is a bit aspirational at the moment. Co-founder John Collison told CNBC in November that the company was perfectly happy staying private. The firm makes payment software for e-commerce and processes payments for a number of massive players, including trillion-dollar big tech behemoths Amazon and Alphabet. Stripe would be one of the year's most hyped and sought-after IPOs, as its April 2021 $95 billion valuation made it the most valuable venture-backed private company in the US since then. SpaceX has surpassed Stripe in that regard, although Stripe's next funding round is almost certain to be higher than its last. Last on the list is Trump Media. Former President Donald Trump dazzled investors after announcing plans in October to take his social media company public via SPAC. Shares of the vehicle, Digital World Acquisition Corporation, skyrocketed more than 1,700% as retail investors plowed into the stock late last year, helping it briefly eclipse a market capitalization of $10 billion, compared to an expected valuation of $875 million, before tumbling 70% once the fervor cooled off. The firm, which was founded in February and has yet to release a working product, has since revealed plans to cash in on the retail frenzy by raising about $1 billion from investors. However, regulators are already pouncing on the move, with the SEC initiating an investigation into stock trading and high-level communications last month. No one's been accused of wrongdoing, but it's unclear how this will affect Trump's latest money-making venture. Thank you guys so much for watching, and of course hit the like button, and subscribe for the YouTube algorithm, if you haven't done that already, because it helps me out a lot and it's totally free.